No one knows the power of algae oil, but everyone knows the power of fish oil. What if I told you that algae oil does the same thing while being more sustainable, environmentally friendly, and in many ways, even more powerful? The power of algae oil lies in its omega-3s, but I didn't realize this until I learned about the dangers of krill omega-3s. It all started with a documentary, Blue Planet, discussing the environmental harms of the krill fishing industry. Then it mentioned something, algae oil, something that could replace both fish and krill oils. I sat there for the next 20 minutes of the documentary, wondering, why? Why is this the way it is? So I started researching. First, with a quick question to an AI text generator, then with longer, deeper research on my own. What I found only confused me more. There are practically zero negatives to algae oil, except for one. It isn't well known, and in turn, isn't marketable. Because after decades of marketing, society has been conditioned to associate omega-3s with fish oil, not with algae oil, and that's why this problem exists. This idea of negative change inspired me to research and brainstorm ideas of positive change. No one starts exercising for no reason. No one starts studying harder just because they feel like it. Something always shifts. Something makes the comfort uncomfortable. Something forces change, and that something is change. As humans, we need change. But most people don't see it as opportunity. They see it as an obstacle, becoming upset, anxious, even angry. And yet we all know that change is the only constant. Another personal example of this came about 3 years ago. I just joined a new football team, and for the first time in my life, I was the worst player. It was hard. Many times I wanted to quit, not just the team, but the sport itself. But this is what drove me to work harder. And after 3 years, I went from never making the team sheet to a bench player and eventually to a starter. The discomfort is what drove me to work. It pushed me and it made me go past my old level. Without it, I never would have become the player that I am now. At first, I hated it. The discomfort was awful. But now, it feels worth it for the growth it inspired. If you watch documentaries about famous athletes, entrepreneurs, or artists, they all have one thing in common: the struggles and change that shape their success. Take, for example, Ousmane Dembele, the winner of this year's Ballon d'Or, football's most prestigious individual award. Just 3 years ago, he was at Barcelona, labeled a flop, injury-prone, and not worth his £135 million fee. Then, in 2023, he joined PSG. This change, born from his struggles, sparked his transformation. He is now one of the best footballers in the world. But one thing is certain: he wouldn't be if he stayed at Barcelona. So next time life shifts, you should no longer see it as an obstacle, but an opportunity. It should no longer scare you, because no matter how small or large the change seems, your reaction to it matters much more than the change itself. So next time life shifts, try this 5-step plan. First, understand the change. Second, assess its effects. Third, think to yourself, what can this change inspire? Fourth, plan your positive response. And finally, commit fully. Not because you're angry or upset, but because change planted the seed for your next transformation.